Can the MARDU Surge Precon survive against the
zombie horde?
This is Horde mode Magic the Gathering. And for those who don't know the rules of Horde mode, this is how it works. This is a 50 card deck because it's just going to be playing against me. There are 35 token creatures as you see here, and then there are 15 non-token creatures inside this deck of varying power levels. Now I will have 40 life. This deck's life total is equal to the amount of cards that are in the library itself. As I take damage normally. As this deck takes damage, it will mill cards into the graveyard. So once it has been completely milled out from taking damage, there will be no cards left, and I would have defeated the zombie horde with the MARDU Surge Precon. But it's important to remember that as the zombie horde takes its turn, it's going to reveal cards off of the top of the library until I hit a non-token creature. Each creature that enters the battlefield will have haste, and each creature is forced to attack. They are on autopilot.
This is horde mode.
So all these creatures will attack. I'll do what I can with the precon to defend myself. The turn will then pass, and then as it takes its turn again, they will untap, and the process will begin all over again. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, let everyone know who you think is going to win in the comments below. Now I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle these decks really quickly, and then we'll get started. Okay, now I have my life counter, and we can get started. We start this game with 40 life. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this section over here, and I'm going to leave the zombie deck right over here so you guys can see. As the game starts, it is my responsibility to take my first 3 turns before the zombie deck is allowed to play. So we essentially get 3 turns for free right now. I'm just looking to put as many creatures as I can on the battlefield, and hopefully we can do something, you know? So we're just going to go ahead and start. We're going to draw 7, drawing into Neriv, Crackling Vanguard, Fetid Heath, a Swamp, a Felwar Stone, a Clifftop Retreat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Okay, so this is how we're going to play the Planeswalker over here. If Kaya is in play and the zombies go to attack, I'm going to roll the dice. Odds, we're going to say that it attacks Kaya. Evens, the zombie will then attack me. So that way the damage is randomly assigned for each zombie on the battlefield. So I think this is a pretty decent hand. We're going to go ahead and start with this. So I'm going to draw this, and then because it's dual, we're not going to draw for turn. Let's just go ahead and get this Clifftop Retreat on the battlefield tapped. We'll then pass the turn. We'll draw into a Plains, which I will put into my hand. We'll go ahead and let this Fetid Heath enter the battlefield. And I think we're going to play this Strike Leader. We'll just get this onto the battlefield so we have a 2/2 on the board. Unfortunately, that creature is not a 3/3. But if we get Kaya on the battlefield next turn, we can give it a +1/+1 counter so that we can turn our creature over here into a pretty decent blocker. We'll go ahead and pass the turn. We will untap and draw into an Ophiomancer, which I'm kind of tempted to play right now just because this is going to create more blockers for me. We're going to say that if we play creatures early, I can start dealing damage to the zombies right now. That's the rule that we're going to play. So I'm going to tap 3. I'm going to play this Ophiomancer just so I can get some more blockers into play during my opponent's next upkeep. We're going to go to combat, and I'm going to attack with the Strike Leader against the Zombie Horde. It's going to take damage, and the Zombie Horde will end up milling Grave Titan, which is, my god, thank god we dealt that damage. So they're going to be milling a Grave Titan and a zombie, so we don't have to face either of these two cards. Because of that trigger, we're also going to be creating a 1/1 red goblin, which I can grab over here. That was also tapped and attacking, actually, if I read that correctly. Which means that our opponent's gonna mill, the zombie's gonna mill another card, which is a Dread Slaver. What is not good, everybody, is that we've milled 2 non-token creatures already, which means that we're gonna get some pretty intense run-on hordes over here in a moment. So we're just gonna go ahead and pass the turn. Now, as we pass the turn, that's gonna trigger the Ophiomancer on our opponent's upkeep, which means we're gonna get a 1/1 snake with Death Touch, which is gonna be pretty clutch, the fact that it has Death Touch. And then we'll go ahead and reveal what the zombie horde is going to bring. So remember, we're revealing off the top card of our library until we hit a non-token. So 1 zombie, 2 zombies, and then Nekusar, the Mind Razor. So for those who don't know what Nekusar does, Nekusar is a creature that says at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar, the Mind Razor, deals 1 damage to that player. So I'm actually thinking that we keep Nekusar alive in this instance, because all these creatures are forced to attack. So we're gonna get attacked by the 3 zombies. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna actually leave Nekusar unblocked so we can draw that extra card, and I will block one of the zombies with the Death Touch Snake, which means that we will end up taking 4 damage during this turn, and we will lose our snake temporarily, and then the horde will lose a zombie, and then we will go ahead and we'll have them pass the turn. We'll take our turn now, and we'll draw 2 cards. Every time we draw a card, we're gonna end up taking 1 damage, so that's 1 damage, and then 2 damage here, which is Solemn Simulacrum. It's not that bad, so we're going down to 34. And then looking at our hand, let's get the Battlefield Forge on the battlefield. We could play Solemn just to put another land into play, which I wouldn't mind, and it gives us an extra blocker. So let's go ahead, we'll play the Solemn Simulacrum, search our library for a land. Let's get this Plains onto the battlefield tapped. We will draw a card off the Solemn at some point as well, which I don't think is that bad. And then we're gonna go to combat. I don't really want to attack with to block with the Ophiomancer. And I want the extra token, so we're gonna attack with the Strike Leader and the Ophiomancer, which is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna create another tapped Goblin token attacking. So 5 damage is gonna go over to the zombies, which means they're gonna have to mill 5 cards, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, dude, we're really milling all these non-token creatures. There's gonna be some giant hordes in a second. So they mill an Unstoppable Slasher, which could have halved our entire life total, which is good, and then a bunch of other creatures over here, which is not the worst thing in the world. So those things will enter the graveyard. We get our creature, and then I think we pass the turn here. And then as we pass the turn, we're gonna create a snake token because of the Ophiomancer during our opponent's upkeep. Now, during our opponent's upkeep, they're gonna untap, and then they'll do their thing. So we're gonna end up taking a look at 1. Let's go. Okay, so literally just 1 creature. It's not the worst thing. And then it says when this creature dies, each player is going to put the top 3 cards of his or her library into their graveyard, which kind of helps us. You know, it's not that intense. They have to go to combat here. They have to attack, guys. I'm telling you, we're gonna pull like 20 zombies in a row at some point. I really gotta think intensely about this, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 9 more non-token creatures inside this deck left, which is gonna be intense. Now, what we're gonna end up doing here is the Solemn with the zombie to take out the zombie, and we'll draw a card. We'll block Nekusar with the snake to take out the Nekusar, and then we'll just take the 1 damage from the Reveler over here. So these 2 creatures will die, And then what we're gonna do is lose our Solemn and the Snake. And then we're gonna go ahead and draw a card off of the Solemn trigger, which is an Exotic Orchard. And then our opponent will have to pass the turn. So we're gonna draw for turn into a redoubled Stormsinger, which says, whenever this creature attacks for each creature token you control that enters this turn, create a tapped and attacking token with a copy of that token. Beginning of next turn, sacrifice those tokens. So it just basically doubles our creature tokens temporarily, which is pretty nice. Now, looking at our hand, let me think about how we're gonna play this. I think we just get Nayriv into play, because Nayriv is gonna create 2 more zombies. It's gonna create 2 more goblin tokens for us. Nayriv is a flying 4/4 with Death Touch, so it's gonna be a pretty decent blocker, and I think we just need to fill up the amount of creatures that we have on the board. So we're gonna say that we have 2 goblins here. We're gonna tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. We'll play the Nayriv. We'll have 2 goblins enter the battlefield here with the Nayriv trigger. And then we're gonna go to combat. We did create a snake because of the Ophiomancer. And then we will go to combat, attack with the Strike Leader and the Ophiomancer. I could attack with these goblins, but I'd rather not. I'd rather play it safe. So we're gonna have this happen. We're gonna then create another goblin that's tapped and attacking. And I'm just gonna leave this card like this to represent that one goblin that's tapped and attacking. And then our opponent will then take 5 damage again, which will be 1 zombie, Stitchwing, 2, 3, 4, 5. My god, this is about to get so intense, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. That's another 3 non-token creatures in the graveyard. There's about to be a giant, just a wave of zombies very soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 non-token creatures in the graveyard right now. It is as easy as this seems right now. This is about to get really bad. That happens, and then we're just gonna go ahead here, and I think we just pass the turn with our creatures, and then hope that this isn't as bad as this is about to be. So we'll untap the Reveler, and we're gonna reveal off the top of our library. Oh, okay. Josu Vest. So this card has a kicker cost, right? So this is how we're gonna play this, because this deck technically has unlimited mana. So, I mean, I could play this to not have its kicker cost go off, or it could go off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna allow the dice to determine what's gonna happen here. Let me find a cool dice. This is my Chaos Knights dice. Now, if this rolls a even number, because the kicker is 6, this card will be kicked, and as it enters the battlefield, it's going to create 8 2/2 black zombie knight creature tokens with menace, which would be devastating. So let's hope that this rolls with an odd number, please. Odd number. Let's go. It's a 5. Okay, so unfortunately for the zombies, it's just Josu Vest is going to enter the battlefield by himself, because Josu Vest clearly is a failure. This guy he just failed at life, and now that stinks for him. So they have to go to combat. They're gonna attack again. I'm gonna use the Nayriv to block the Reveler. So the Reveler is gonna die, and as it dies, each player is gonna mill 3 cards, which is gonna be good for us because that's gonna mill more zombies. And then I'll chump block. Actually, this has menace, so I have to block 2 creatures. I'll chump block the Josu Vest with the snake and one of the goblins. One of the goblins that we had to block with will die, but the Josu Vest will also die to the Death Touch on the snake. And then our zombies are gonna have to mill 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3, which is 3 zombies that are gone. which could have been really bad, and then we have to mill 1 Aaron, Ogre, Battle Driver, and 3. That would have been nice to keep this card just because that buffs our creatures and makes them better blockers. But whatever, that was our zombies' horrible turn. The zombies are gonna pass. We're gonna untap. I'm telling you, we're getting very lucky right now. I think that is obviously the case. So we're just gonna combine all the zombie or the goblin tokens that we have. I'm gonna put 4 over here just so that we don't have too many tokens in play. And then we will draw for turn into an Emeria Angel. When it enters, when we play a land, we get to create a 1/1 bird, which is nice. The question is, how much damage can we do right now? Can we just eliminate our opponents from the game? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for Goblin token 3, 8, 9. We also create the 1/1 from Ophiomancer, and then 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 cards left inside this deck. If I attacked out with everything, I could one-shot maybe on the turn after that, depending on the amount of damage that we put on the board right now. But I just would rather play safe. So let's get this Plains into play. Let's get Zurgo into play. So we'll go 1, 2, and then where's a red? 3 here. And then we'll play the Zurgo. So whenever a token creature we control leaves the battlefield, our opponents are going to be losing life because we can't, they can't block, so we're not going to be drawing anything. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the way you want to look at that. We'll go to combat, and I think we just keep it safe. I'm going to keep the creatures on the board that I don't want to block with, which is going to be the Strike Leader and the Ophiomancer. We'll have both these creatures... Well, why don't we just flood the... Wait, before we even move to combat, let me just get 1... I'll go a colorless, and we'll go red. And we'll get the Storm Singer on the battlefield, which is gonna double the tokens that we create, which is nice. And then that's gonna enter the battlefield. And then what we're gonna do is not attack here. We'll attack with these 2. They'll go off and attack. So we're still gonna create the 1 token here. We get the 1 goblin tapped and attacking. So our opponent is gonna take 5 damage again, which is gonna be 1 zombie, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 zombies go into the graveyard. This is going very well for us. And then we're just gonna go ahead and pass the turn after that. And now the zombies will go and they will get a zombie, 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 zombie. This is what I was talking about. Zombie, and then the twisted abomination, guys. You gotta have it. You gotta love it. When you're playing against a zombie deck, you gotta put this card inside your deck because it is an abomination. Now, looking at our board state with the zombies right now, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's put the zombie knight over here because this one has menace. Yeah, this got really bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attacking us. 11, 12 creatures. Woo! Okay, how much life does our opponent have left? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 life. So I think if when we swing back, as long as we survive this attack, if we swing back with enough damage, we can win during the next turn no matter what. So we have 34 life, so let me figure out how much damage here I can take before we lose. Because technically we could be left at 2, and then I think we still win during the next turn. So let me just add this up. So there's 27 damage on the board over here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and allow all of these zombies to deal damage to me, and I'm gonna take 27 damage, bringing me all the way down to 7 life. And then my opponent will pass the turn. We will untap everything. We will draw for turn, which is another hasty creature, which means that I can go 1, 2, play the Loyal Apprentice, get that on the battlefield. We can play the Kaya, Give a creature a +1/+1 counter. And now let me just add up the damage that we have here on the board. We have 28 damage on the board, and then we would swing 28 into the zombies, which means they will lose 28 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we'll go like this so that it's fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. They are at -16 damage, and we have just defeated the zombie horde. So the MARDU Surge Precon does pretty well against the zombie horde. It even took out Vecna there at the end of the game, which I'm happy to have not seen Vecna. But, you know, I think we got really lucky this time. I know that we're gonna do the other precons against this zombie horde, and I have other hordes over there as well to play. So if you enjoy these horde mode matches, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this YouTube video and comment so that YouTube promotes this video so that I can spend more time making videos just like this with precons if y'all enjoy that. And if you want to play games against me, I'm starting a 1v1 series against my subscribers and other people in the community. You can challenge me to a game in the comment section below, or you can challenge me in the Discord as well under the challenge tab. Keep in mind though that if you are playing against me, it is going to feel like a boss battle. It is going to be the Dark Souls of Magic the Gathering YouTube content, and I hope that you look forward to seeing what that content's going to be like. I've been getting things ready, and it's going to be really intense, and I would actually be very surprised if anybody could beat me ever. But we'll see what happens, okay? If you like this video, remember to like this video. Always remember, everybody, eat healthy, okay? Work out every single day. Most important, you guys can remember to believe in yourself, all right? Peace out, people.